The Upper Paleolithic Age. Cave paintings were used as a way to recount events and the things early man had treasured. Cave drawings had very little form of style to them, and they perfectly illustrate how man thought during this era. The Neolithic era. Humans begin to form settlements. Man used art as a way to honor ancestors and as part of ritual practices done by way of statues, totems, masks, and effigies. This era laid the foundation for art as a whole. Bronze Age. The Bronze Age saw the dawn of civilization, with humans creating primal works of art to honor their ancestors, as well as to invoke and reinforce belief in something greater than themselves, achieved by crafting statues, pots, and masks designed to be symmetrical and durable. Age of Idealism. During the Age of Idealism, pottery and murals recounted events and told tales of Greek deities, and while the forms present on them still depth, they were effective at conveying information and emotion. In an effort to display man as equal to their deities, statues crafted of the human form by both Greek and Romans. Middle Ages. Art of this era focuses heavily on contextualizing and depicting religious figures. Art suited the promotion of religion quite well, as it served to beautify and attract followers to an ideology, which was the reason for the incredible increase of detail and grandeur of and during this period. The pioneering of calligraphy, geometric and elaborate patterns were extensively refined by Arabian artists. Renaissance. Art has manifested itself in developing technologies in tandem with mathematics, in fields such as medicine, architecture, engineering, astronomy, and cartography. With this era marking the how exponential progress were made in the aforementioned fields. To be an artist on this period required a great understanding of utilizing perspective and form as opposed to the pieces of previous era, as artwork had fully embraced composition and incorporated what we now know as the general element of design within them. Baroque era. The art during this period displaying grandiose as well as events that transpired within the period itself. Neoclassical. The neoclassical movement saw artists aiming to recapture the grace and acute nature of Greco-Roman art by recreating figures from the Hellenic era. Romantic Age. The Romantic Age showing a further emphasis on the individual nature and the celebration of imagination. Impressionism. The Impressionist movement focused on crafting saturated landscapes flooded with stylized light and shadows. Native American. The Native American saw totems and pottery serve as inherent part of their culture, with the symbolism and style being influenced by the surroundings of a tribe. African. One of the most unique tribes in Africa, however, would be the Ndebele tribe, which not only developed some of the most stylistically distinct African art, but intentionally fostered art as a very part of its culture. Distinct geometric form against stark, contrasting colors forms the basis of Ndebele style, which encompasses everything from the architecture, clothing, and tools of the people. Japanese art or ukiyo-e era. In Japanese art, the tonal form have always less prominent, while line work and intelligent use of color were preferred to subtly and flyer to pieces. European art evolution. During the 19th and early 20th centuries, thought and art itself were fragmented in Europe. The emergence of more expensive styles were frowned upon by academics due to the perceived lack of effort and skills in creating stylized pieces, dividing those who use art to express their emotions and thoughts and those who saw it is something that should always depict the world in a manner that reflects how one sees with their own eyes. Realism different art movement. Realism movement find firm ground. art transformed into a far more subjective field, and artwork both new and old are interpreted in bold new ways by both observers and artists alike. Contemporary age. The art today has become less about the style of an age or society as it has been about the artist discovering and expressing their own style, regardless of their medium, ability, or style. Does the cave painting in ancient time help and contribute to modern time? Yes, because cave art connects contemporary artists with a primeval perspective, freeing them from the clutter of modern life, inspired by their forefathers' art, such as artists incorporate elements of prehistoric art into their current creations. 2. If you see an artwork that portrays an image or element which are against your belief and orientation, how should you respond to it? If I can see an artwork that against my belief and orientation, I will not interfere with it, but I will respect their artwork instead.